I still remember the tone of her voice that night. Calm, almost rehearsed, when she looked at me across the dinner table and said, "Ethan, for a month, there will be no intimacy. No touching. Nothing." Her fork clinked softly against the plate, as if punctuation to the sentence that just cracked something inside me. At first I laughed, thinking it was another one of her strange attempts at a relationship reset. We'd been arguing lately, about her late nights at work, her distance, how she no longer reached for my hand in bed. But the way she said it, cold, deliberate, wasn't about fixing us. It was a decree. Punishment. And that was the moment I realized something was off, deeply off. We'd been married 11 years. Enough time to know her moods, her rhythms, the way her eyes softened when she lied. Only this time they didn't soften. They hardened. "May I ask why?" I said carefully, forcing my voice to stay even. She sighed dramatically, as if my question was a burden. "I just need space, Ethan. You've become needy, clingy. I want to feel in control again." "In control of what?" "Our dynamic," she said. "You don't get it. I'm trying to find myself again. Feel like I'm disappearing in this marriage." Her words hit me like small, calculated darts. She'd been reading those online self-empowerment blogs lately, the ones that told women to reclaim their sensuality by withholding affection. But this wasn't empowerment. It was cruelty wearing self-help clothing. Still, I nodded, pretending to understand. "All right. A month." I said it with a calmness that startled her, maybe even scared her a little. Because deep down, something in me was already shifting, from confusion to suspicion. Over the next week, she became even more distant. She started dressing differently, not for me but for someone else. Tight skirts, red lipstick, perfume she hadn't worn since our early years. And her phone. It was glued to her hand. Always face down. Always buzzing. When I'd ask who it was, she'd smile faintly. "Just work. You know how demanding marketing gets." Except I did know. I worked in IT for the same company. And there were no late-night strategy sessions that ran until 1 a.m. So I waited. Quietly pieced together the puzzle she didn't realize she was building in front of me. One Friday night she said she was staying late again. I kissed her cheek, she flinched, and told her to be safe. When she left, I followed. It wasn't something I ever thought I'd do. I wasn't that kind of husband. But when someone rewrites the rules of your marriage overnight, trust erodes like paper in water. She drove across town, past her office, past any logical work-related location, until she pulled into the parking lot of the Willow Grove Hotel. My chest went hollow. I parked a few spaces back and just sat there, watching as she stepped out of her car, checked her reflection in the window, and smiled at her phone before walking inside. A few minutes later, another car arrived. A man got out, tall, well-dressed, familiar. Daniel Harper. Her boss. My hands gripped the steering wheel so tightly I thought it might break. I didn't confront her that night. I drove home instead, numb and silent, the hum of the tires the only thing keeping me from screaming. When she returned at midnight, she smelled of whiskey and a cologne that wasn't mine. Her lipstick was faintly smudged. She looked at me and smiled like nothing had happened. "Still awake?" "Yeah," I said softly. "Just waiting for you." She walked past me toward the bedroom, humming. And I just watched her. My wife, humming after being with another man. Something inside me died quietly in that moment. But something else, colder, sharper, was born. Over the next few days I played the role perfectly. I laughed, cooked her breakfast, kissed her forehead when she left for work. But every smile she gave me now was a lie, and every lie she spoke was a blade. I started collecting evidence. Screenshots of messages that appeared when her phone synced with our shared laptop. Receipts from the hotel. One even from a fancy dinner, paid with our joint credit card. And then there was the message I found accidentally. "Daniel, can't believe you told him no intimacy. That's savage. Mia. He deserves it." Maybe he'll finally realize what he's losing. That was when I stopped feeling hurt. I started feeling done. The day she declared no intimacy turned into 2 weeks of lies. She thought I was quietly enduring my punishment. In reality, I was planning my exit. I withdrew half our joint funds and moved them into a separate account under my name. Legally, since I was the main earner. I copied every message, every email, every piece of evidence to a secure drive. I contacted a lawyer. And then, on a calm Wednesday evening, I decided it was time. She came home humming again, a tune I'd come to hate. I greeted her with dinner, her favorite lasagna and wine. She smiled, flattered. "You're sweet tonight," she said, kissing my cheek. Smiled back. "You inspired me." Halfway through dinner, I said, "I've been thinking a lot about what you said. About needing space." She looked up cautiously. "And I think you're right. You should have space. You should be free to explore what makes you happy." Her eyes flickered. "That's surprisingly mature of you." He nodded. "So, I've decided to give you more than a month. You'll have all the time and space you want." I placed an envelope on the table. Her smile faltered. "What's this?" "Divorce papers," I said softly. Her fork slipped from her fingers, clattering onto the plate. "What, Ethan, what are you talking about? Are you serious?" "I'm dead serious." I leaned back, watching her face twist between confusion and fear. "You didn't think I'd find out, did you?" She froze. "Find out what?" I slid my phone across the table, screen unlocked. Opened to her messages with Daniel. Color drained from her face. "Mia," I said quietly, "you took away your touch, your affection, your love, but you didn't realize you were also taking away my reason to stay." She reached across the table, trembling. "Ethan, please. It wasn't like that. It's complicated." "No," I interrupted. "It's simple. You decided I wasn't enough. You declared war on our marriage, and I just finally accepted the truth. You don't love me." Tears welled in her eyes. "I didn't mean to hurt you." "But you did," I said. "Every night you came home smelling like someone else. Every lie you told with that calm little smile. You wanted control. You have it now. You control nothing that belongs to me anymore." The next morning she tried calling, texting, even showing up at my workplace. Crying, apologizing, saying it was a mistake, that Daniel meant nothing. But I'd already moved out. My lawyer served the papers. And Daniel. He was married too. His wife filed her own set of papers within days after I sent her the evidence anonymously. Mia's world unraveled faster than she ever imagined. She lost her job, her reputation, her affair, and the man who once adored her. 3 months later, she showed up at my new apartment. I almost didn't open the door. But something in her voice, the trembling desperation, made me look. Her once perfect hair was messy, her eyes swollen. "Ethan, please," she whispered. "Can we talk?" I hesitated, then nodded slightly. She stepped inside, looking around the unfamiliar space that no longer carried her scent. "I miss you," she said, voice cracking. I was stupid. I just wanted to feel wanted again. "You were distant, and Daniel." "Stop." My voice was calm, not angry. "You don't need to explain. You just wanted something new. Get it? But you destroyed everything to have it." She broke down crying, clutching her chest. "I thought you'd fight for me." "I did," I said quietly. "For years. You just didn't notice until I stopped." There was a long silence, heavy, suffocating. "Is it really over?" she whispered. "It was over the night you walked into that hotel," I said. "The month without intimacy wasn't your punishment for me, Mia. It was your rehearsal for life without me." Her sobs filled the room, but I didn't feel anger anymore, only a dull, bittersweet peace. That night, after she left, I sat on my balcony watching the city lights flicker. For years, I'd thought love meant enduring pain, forgiving endlessly, proving loyalty. But now I understood. Sometimes love ends quietly, not in shouting matches or slammed doors, but in the stillness of realization that the person you once adored is a stranger wearing your memories. Mia taught me that. And though her betrayal broke me, it also rebuilt me. Stronger, quieter, free. Because when she declared, "For a month, you will be without intimacy and my touch," she didn't know I'd decide to live the rest of my life without her entirely.